Hello, everyone. This is Onat from AUTEL. I'm the training engineer, and welcome to our last webinar for Electric Vehicle Essentials series. I'm surprised a little bit because, I want to thank you for this huge participation, and thank you all again for joining our webinar. So I will be your presenter, and I'm sure that we will learn a lot of like our last webinar sessions. If you have questions during webinar, please don't hesitate to ask in the question and answers section below. At the end of webinar, me and my colleagues will try to answer your questions, okay? So, if you joined our last webinars, we know the main ideology of high voltage vehicles, right? How they work. So, which cars have high voltage systems? So, there are full hybrid cars, plug-in hybrid cars, and battery electric vehicles. And we learned which charger we need for our cars as a public or private charging. But today, we will see as a workshop what to do for high voltage vehicle. We will give you quite good repair and safety tips. So, our topics, as you can see. So, first of all, we will do a little bit introduction. It will be related with the levels, certifications, and safety. And after that, we will go for de-energization. And after, we will see some equipments and tools, what we need. And we will see some high voltage battery experiences as a video. And also, I will explain you some safety tips. Okay? Before I start, first of all, everyone, please, this webinar is not making you ready for high voltage live work. Everyone needs to obey your country's policies and regulations. So we know that if your country has not yet any rules for high voltage repair or live working, for example, for our IMEA region, this is the case. Actually, many countries here doesn't have any policies and regulations. It's a gray market right now, but we are recommending getting a certificate from abroad, from famous companies which are dealing with high voltage works, okay? This is serious. We are dealing more than maybe 300, maybe 400 volts live working, which is very serious threat for human life. Okay, so let's see. Let's imagine you are getting a certification. So what will be the levels? So there are 3 levels actually, and the level names can be different for different car companies, different countries, okay? But it's the same, the structure is same. We have 3 levels. The first level is the instructed person. They know about electricity, they know about the dangers. And the level 2 is the high voltage technician. They know how to de-energize the car. And level 3 is the high voltage expert. They are the full expert personnel, so they can repair the batteries, they can live work on high voltage, everything, okay? Let's talk about them a little bit more. As you can see, first of all, electric instructed person, EIP. So they have information about all the dangers of the high voltage, and they know the general works. Let's imagine you have a workshop, you have an electric instructed person, and some electric vehicle comes to your shop, and they want to only change the brake tires. We don't need any qualification here, so electric instructed person directly do that job on the car. That's very easy, simple. For high voltage technician, as a level 2, they are taking the responsibility of the de-energizing the vehicle. So after the de-energizing the vehicle, if there is a necessity, like for example, you will work on electric motor and you de-energized your car, then your electric instructed person can continue on work. But if it is a more responsible things happening, so like high voltage technicians should continue on the work. Maybe he or she should leave the work on high voltage expert, okay? High voltage expert is the level 3. It's the highest authorized person in high voltage system. So they are the responsible people who undertakes the task of repairing the battery or repairing the live high voltage, okay? Yeah, so let's come to the topic, repairing. So these are the examples for high voltage components from our electric vehicles, which we discussed before in our last webinars, if you remember. So for instance, as we said, you have a workshop and there is a malfunction with the electric motor, okay? Let's say you will replace transmission. So we will repair it, we will replace the transmission, but do you think should we do something before starting repairing? Yes, we need to do something very important, and it is called de-energizing. We will cut off the electric flow from the battery to the vehicle because we will work on electric motor, and it's the electric motor, like we stop the car, yes, it's true, but it's the possibility to get electricity still. So that's why we need to cut the electricity to create a safer zone. So let's see how de-energize our cars. All right, so the vehicle comes to your workshop and you are ready to de-energize it. What you should do? Firstly, of course, we will shut off the vehicle. It's easy, it's simple. Then we will de-energize the source, which our source is the high voltage battery now. I will explain. And then we will secure this de-energization. We will apply a personal lock. And lastly, we will test it. We will 100% sure that we cut off the electricity. So let's see them step by step, okay? First of all, shutting off the vehicle. It's very easy. You already understood what is it. So we are engineing off our car with the button or with your blade key. But there is also another important thing to do here. We will also detach the terminal of the 12-volt battery, okay? As an extra safety measure, we will do it. Then the shutting off procedure is completed. Next, we will de-energize the source. Yeah, the de-energizing means cutting the electric flow from the battery. There are many ways to do it, but the easiest way, the best way to do is the maintenance contactor, as you can see in the screen. So it's located mainly in the hood of the electric vehicles, okay? What we do here, just opening the contactor, okay? You can see in the video. It's very simple. It's located in the hood, and we are just opening that contactor. That's it. So what's happening here? Actually, there is a line called pilot line in the system, in the high voltage system. You are opening that communication circuit, and the system, the battery management system, understands it, okay? And the battery management system understands there is a miscommunication with the pilot line, and it opens the DC plus and DC minor contactors, okay? When you open the contactors, there will be no electric flow to the car, to the other components from the high voltage battery. And also another tip for you, there are other events that opens high voltage battery contactors. So these are some malfunctions. There can be some malfunctions in the high voltage system. Maybe there is a damage on the cable or anything else. Yeah, we talked about it, opening a maintenance connector. Or there's a special fuse in the fuse box. It's called emergency fuse. If you take it off, if you remove it, it will also open the contactors. And also the accident signal from the airbag control unit. If there's an accident signal comes to the battery management system, again, the contactors will be opened. Okay? Yeah, okay, we opened the maintenance contactor. Yes, the third phase is securing our de-energization. So we can apply a personal lock on the maintenance contactor. Yes, we opened and we are securing it. first, why we are doing this? Because there are two reasons, actually. This first is securing from unintentional connection. You can maybe accidentally close it back. It's very easy. And the second one is preventing someone else from closing it back. So yeah, we said, if you remember, level 2 and level 3 people can do de-energization. So let's imagine a car comes to your workshop and you de-energized it and you left, and someone comes and close the maintenance contactor and do something. Okay, you are taking the responsibility. That's why it's very important. We shouldn't get this possibility. And lastly, after we log our de-energization, it's very important. We need to 100% sure that there is no electricity. So there are many ways to do this, but one of the easiest is, you can see in the video and pictures, there are some special tools help to measure the voltage. Okay, what we need to do is checking that with the help of the multimeter, of course, we should check there are no voltage between high voltage plus and high voltage minus line, high voltage plus and chassis, and also high voltage minus and chassis. You're checking with your multimeter. You will use these tools, and if you see there is no voltage, congratulations, we made the de-energizing the vehicle. Okay, it's already de-energized. So now we can work on the electric motor. We said we wanted to change transmission. Okay, so it's safe to work now. Yeah, we de-energized our car, but we didn't talk about what a workshop need for specific electric vehicle repair. First of all, a good and comprehensive diagnostic tablet. With this one, we will able to see the cause of errors, ways to solve the issues. Okay, we need detailed diagnostic reports and clear live data, and also we will need active tests, not only for low voltage system, also for high voltage system. Okay, after repairing battery outside of the car, think about it, we need to diagnose it, so without installing it on the car, because of many more reasons. For example, you take out the battery from the car and it is not an easy step, and you repaired it, and you need to check, you need to test your battery is okay or not after your repair. So the easiest way, for example, we have the offline battery diagnostics with the jumper cables, specific jumper cables. So you can do the offline diagnostics without installing it back to the car. So let's imagine you don't have this specification. What you should do, you should again install the battery to the car, and you need to check if there's a problem. And if there's a problem, you need to take it back, and these procedures are taking a lot of time. Okay, that is one of the reasons an effective diagnostic tool we need. And the second, insulated hand tools. It's very important because we are dealing with high voltage vehicle. Okay, not normal hand tools. They should be insulated, at least 1000 volts. No matter what, we will use these. And last but not least, we talked about it. Also, you will need a multimeter with at least, again, 1000 volts. Okay, it will be your left-hand man, while the diagnostic tool will be your right-hand man. Okay. After we complete our tools, what we need a better protection. We need protective equipments. Also, many people call them PPEs, which are coat, glove, glasses, and you can add it to gloves with mechanical protection and also security boots. We need this because we need to protect ourselves from electric shock, electric arc, flash, and battery electrolyte. Okay, we are dealing with very high voltage, which is lethal, which is serious. That's why we really need to protect ourselves. I have some questions regarding PPEs, protective equipments. Yeah, I'm launching the question for you now. I'm just curious, what are you thinking? There are two questions. Yeah, please answer these questions. What do you think? The first one is, should a technician use protective equipments while de-energizing the vehicle? We saw the de-energizing, okay? The second is, should a technician use PPE on high voltage battery work after de-energizing the vehicle? Let's imagine you'll be de-energized already, but we need to work on, for example, battery repair. We will change some cells inside the modules. What we should do? And also, should a technician use PPE on electric motor after de-energizing the vehicle? Okay. Again, it's a de-energized, but we will working now on electric motor, not battery. Okay, answers are coming. I'm waiting a little bit. Okay, a lot of you already answered. Yeah, I didn't explain actually what to do, and yeah, we will talk about it now. I will wait for a couple seconds, and yeah, I will end off the pool and I will show you the results, then we can talk about it. Okay, I'm ending the poll and I will show you the results. Okay, let's start with the first one. Should a technician use protective equipment while de-energizing the vehicle? Actually, it's yes or no. Why? If it is a very normal car, comes to your workshop, you don't need to use any protective equipment for de-energizing. We saw on the videos, it's very easy. We are just opening the maintenance contactor, we are locking it, and we are checking if there's a problem with the high voltage plus, high voltage minus, and with the chassis. Yeah, and we are completing our de-energizing. But there is a case if you get a car which applied the accident. So if a car from accident comes to you, yes, you need to use always PPE because we don't know what happens. Maybe a battery management system damaged or some cables malfunctioned, we don't know. That's why if a car comes to you after an accident, we need to be careful. But if you observe if there's nothing, like not the accident, a normal customer came to you, it's fine. You don't need to use PPE. But as I said, after an accident, always. Let's come to the second question. We asked PPE on the high voltage battery work after de-energizing the vehicle. There is only one answer, only true answer is yes. Why? Yes, we de-energized our car, but we said we are just cutting off the electric flow. The source, the energy source is our high voltage battery. The energy is still there. We need to be careful, okay? It doesn't mean if the contactors are open, it doesn't mean the electricity is gone already, it's finished, but the electricity is still inside the high voltage battery. That is why always use PPE if you are dealing with high voltage battery, okay? Very important, very important. And the third one, should a technician use PPE on electric motor work after de-energizing the vehicle? Yeah, actually yes and no. You can use, but also you cannot. It's up to you, because we already cut the electric flow, there is no electric on the electric motor now, so it's kind of safe, but still we are always recommending, if you're dealing with high voltage component, yes, please use your PPEs always. Also, we talked about if you are changing the brake fluid or brake pad, etc., you don't need to use any PPEs, but yeah, please be careful about PPEs. Okay, thank you for your joining. Let's continue. Okay, so let's imagine a situation. One customer comes to your workshop and he or she says there is an error on the cluster, or maybe they can say the range of their car is reduced. You did a quick battery diagnostics, for example, with your AUTEL tablet, or doesn't matter. You saw, for instance, module 14 has problem. And you observe that, okay, so there's a problem with the module 14, you need to check. And if there is a need of repair, if there's a need of replacing the cells, yeah, you will do it. But you don't know where it is, right? So you checked in the diagnostic tablet, where is module 14? You checked it from diagnostic tool, and you started the process. You de-energized the car. Of course, we are dealing with high voltage battery, so that's why we are wearing our PPEs, and we are taking off the battery from the vehicle, okay? So I will show you a video. It's from Audi e-tron 2018. So we are like dismantling the 14th module. See, all the PPEs, glass, everything. As you can see, the orange bus bar between the modules. Also, we need to take them off. We need to take the connection out of the bus bars. And then we are taking out the module. And if there is a need of repair, we will do the repair. All right. So let's come to safety. It's the most important. From my side, it's the very important of today's webinar. What happens if we electroshocked? So you can see on the table, there are many effects on the human body. But I want to take your attention here. So below 40 milliamps, the effects are not serious things. But at 40, there is a chance of inability to let go to conductive elements. The electric power is high, that it affects your muscles and you cannot control them, okay? After 40 milliamps, higher than 40 milliamps, you see the effects are terrible. But yeah, you can ask, are there any influencing factors? That's the only, like the current intensity? No, of course not. There are a lot of factors, and one of them is the time. So you see this graph. Now we added time. The green area is safe, but yellow and red is not. Red is the super dangerous, yellow is dangerous, okay? As you can see, especially in the area of 50 and 40 milliamps, the time is very important, because after 1 second, you are entering the yellow area and the problems appears, sadly. So also you can ask how to calculate the danger. So yeah, we are not super professionals, we are not scientists, but there's an easy way. So for instance, you indirectly touch two high voltage components. So normally high voltage components has a good isolation in their case, and of course it's connected with the chassis, so there is no chance, like it's a very rare you get electroshocked. But we are imagining you are like at the same time you're touching both high voltage components and there's an isolation problem. So let's calculate the worst scenario. You see the human body. This is the lowest body resistance. Okay, this is the lowest body scenario. Let's imagine that person has also broken skin or scar, so which makes our internal resistance very low. Okay, as you can see, with two hands, the electric will flow this way. You see, because it will choose the less resistance way, of course, as we know. So our total resistance will be 1000 ohms, right? Okay. So let's calculate. We saw that voltage is equal to current times resistance. It's a very easy way. It's okay. It's not a very scientific way, but it's a very easy way to understand the things. So we can calculate, for example, the car has a 400 volts. We don't know the current. We are trying to find the current, and we know our resistance, our internal resistance in 1000 ohms. And you see, it's 400 milliamps. It's very dangerous. But yeah, I want to say, normally, human body, wet or broken skin, also it's a wet. If you have a wet skin, also it can drop your body resistance. But in dry conditions, normally human body has more and more resistance. Okay, not only 1000 ohms, it's more, and it can be very high. And also there are many variables. I will not go in detail, but let me explain. For example, if you have more weight compared to others, then you have higher resistance compared to others. If you have less weight, then you have less internal resistance. Okay. But of course, it doesn't mean that if you have weight, you're safe. No, of course not. We need to be careful, and we need to use necessary tools and protective equipments. So God forbid, what to do in an emergency. First of all, you need to keep calm and ensure your own safety, okay? So the third one is deactivating the high voltage, but if you cannot do immediately, then go to the next step. Fourth, it's the most important one, isolate the shocked person from the source, okay? So there are special hooks for this, actually, so it's better to use them. And of course, immediately, you should call the necessary emergency services. If, for example, you influence an electroshock person and you save him or her, and they say, okay, like, I'm okay, no worries. No, because there can be after effects, after chemical effects happen in the body, okay, in the human body. So that's why always connect with the emergency services. And if there is a necessary, and if you have the knowledge, you can provide first aid. Okay. Yeah, I will also explain some things. Battery fumes. It's very dangerous. So maybe you saw in the internet, there are some cars crashing electric vehicles, and the whole high voltage battery goes throwing out itself, and you see some fumes. Don't smell it. Stay away from the fumes. And if there is an affected person, they should get plenty of fresh air, okay? If you are doing it in your workshop, if something happens in your workshop, ventilate the environment immediately and avoid sources of ignition. If the battery starts to burn, then the problems appears, okay? So we need to be careful. And of course, if someone encountered with the fumes, please seek medical assistance. And another thing also, the electrolyte. So it may be funny for you, but there is a possibility, because you can lift the car up. Maybe you can contact with the electrolyte. The funny thing is like swallowing maybe, but yeah, it's a still possibility. So if there is a person in contact, if you get some battery electrolytes, the contact area should be cleaned with plenty of water, okay? If it comes to your eyes, you need to wash your eyes at least 10 minutes with a lot of water. And there is an interesting thing. Let's imagine you swallowed electrolyte unintentionally. You need to drink a lot of water, but you shouldn't vomit, Okay, if you vomit, it can burn your stomach. And of course, you can imagine you should seek medical assistance. You should go to the emergency services. Yeah, let's imagine you called the emergency service. First scenario, you called the emergency service, but please give them a full information, okay? It's very important for every country, in everywhere in the world. Please give them the full address, what happened, and how many people affected, and what type of wounds and conditions are occurred, okay? This is very, very important. All right. So that is the end of our today's webinar. I will go with your questions, and I want to thank you again for your precious time, and I hope to see you in our next webinars. Of course, we will cover more electric vehicle repair and also the diagnostics. Please don't forget to follow AUTEL IMEA social accounts and get updated, okay? Yeah, let's come to the questions now. If there is any question in your mind now, you can please add it on the question and answers. If not, if you don't have any questions, you may leave. I thank you. No, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much. There are many training material available also in the markets, and also we will share this presentation webinar with you on our AUTEL IMEA YouTube channel. Don't worry. There are many videos, but the best training material is just going for a certification, okay? Yeah, don't worry. In 2 weeks, probably in 2 weeks, we will share the last session, also this session, on the AUTEL IMEA YouTube channel. Of course, it's a pleasure to give you information. Thank you. And there is an interesting question, how long the battery works. Okay, so it depends how to use it. But normally, many manufacturers, European or Chinese, doesn't matter, they are giving 8 years warranty. And after 8 years warranty, like of course you can imagine, it's out of warranty, but it's really depend on how are you using your batteries. If you're like if you are doing a lot of DC charging, or if you are using your battery until 1% of state of charge, etc., it may drop your battery life, okay? But there is we cannot determine for exact batteries how long they can work, okay? There is a question from Vikan. I thank you. How you can get a high voltage expert degree? It's a good question. And now Europe and US are leading, and there are many companies, they are giving certification, but these certifications are regulated with the European members. So it's regulated with the European countries. So if you're from another country, it will be not apply for you, I don't know, but it's easy to go get a certification from them. Okay, one more question there is. How do you drain the battery if you need to work on it and it's still charged? Actually, you don't need to discharge the battery. If you follow all the safety rules, if you wear all your gloves, all your protective equipments, you don't need to discharge. And if you are using insulated, that's why we are using insulated tools and protective equipment. You don't need to discharge a battery. I can also add something for you. If you remember, we have a power module between the high voltage battery and the electric motor. It's responsible for transforming AC to DC, DC to AC. They have big capacitors inside, and also we need to be careful about it. These capacitors can store high amount of energy, electric energy. So normally they discharge itself. You can wait. But really, if you want to drain a battery, just open the car and wait. Open the air conditioner and wait. It will be discharged quickly. There is a question from Ahmed. What is the EV diagnostic tool model? It's the AUTEL MS909 EV. There are not many EV diagnostic tool in the market right now. Maybe you know, maybe you don't. And if you know about them, like our AUTEL tools, we have already the third generation diagnostic tools. It's called 909, 919, and Ultra. If you have these diagnostic tools, you can upgrade your diagnostic tool to the EV. So you are getting an EV diag box for offline battery diagnostics and other things, and also the software for electric vehicles. So you're turning your third generation diagnostic tool to EV. How they differ in specs? Yes, there are many differences compared to competitors, but I will not influence my AUTEL diagnostic tools here, but I can say to you it's the most important thing, the specifications, what a diagnostic tool can do, what is the capability of diagnostics, and live data, active tests, and also the compatibility. It's very important. Compatibility is very important because there are many tools in the market, but all of them just supporting European brands right now because electric vehicle business is kind of new, and some of them only working good with the Chinese brands, etc. Okay. But this is the model shown in the presentation is AUTEL MS909 EV. Thank you so much. Yeah, I thank you for a lot of thank you comments coming. Thank you. My pleasure. It's my pleasure. Yeah, there's a question from Maris. Is it easy to change the batteries? Battery changing, yes, but there is a long procedure. I can talk about what manufacturers are doing. So if you, for example, you are an authorized service partner, let's imagine you are a Volkswagen authorized service partner. So there are some regulations you need to obey. For example, you are changing a whole battery. So there are unique specific boxes for batteries. If the battery is okay, so it's just lost its life, and if there is no malfunction with the battery, it's fine. You are ordering a new battery from the manufacturer, and the battery comes with a special box, wooden box. You are taking the new battery and you are putting your old battery and you are sending it back to the manufacturer. But if your battery malfunctioned and damaged, for example, and you see like you need to observe at least 10 days if there is a problem, it will burn or not, what is the temperature, etc. It's a very long procedure. And if you observe that okay, there is nothing is happening, it's fine, then you need to get a special box. It's a metal box, or there are also different boxes for malfunctioned batteries. Okay, so you are getting a new box with a normal wooden you are getting a new battery with a normal wooden box, but you are giving back your old battery with a special container. The iron, I think it's a stainless steel It's kind of very specific boxes. Okay. The changing the battery, the operational, it's kind of easy. If you have the lift, special tools, yes, it's easy. Yeah, there's an interesting question. Will small workshops be able to work on EV, or will they have difficulties? Yeah, a good question. So it depends. If you have like not intern tools or experience, if you have experience and tools and spare parts, everything, there will be no problem. But for small workshops, normally, yeah, as I said, there are many countries still not regulated to hold the experience of electric vehicle, the repair, operation, everything. So normally in Europe, what's happening? So they are obeying that you need a special areas for high voltage vehicles. And also you need a specific area outside on your workshop. It should be open air, okay? Or if you don't have open air, you need a big area. So for example, an accidental car comes to your workshop and you see it's not okay. The temperature is getting increasing in the battery. So what you should do is like directly get that car, if possible, to that emergency area and call the emergency services, firefighters. So not in terms of tools or experience, maybe you can encounter problems about the land. Yeah, I'm checking for more questions. It's coming late, maybe. Yeah, from Mohammed Sawaf. What about live testing using one hand only? Yes, of course. For live, if it is possible, you should always use only your one hand, not two hands at the same time. Always use one hand. It's a very good one. Thank you so much, actually. You need to use only one hand. If not impossible, yes, you can use your two hands, but be careful. Yeah, there are very interesting questions are coming. Weekend has a question. Can we find aftermarket battery cells? Oh, it's a hard one. If you are located in Europe, probably, but if you are located in our region, in our IMEA region or any other place, maybe not. I don't know. It depends on the country. That's a good question. But I think no, it's very hard to find battery cells, maybe. Because, yeah, you know, like there are some specific electric vehicles are manufacturing right now, are being manufactured. It's like universal type of electric vehicle batteries. So for example, there's a malfunction and you need to change. They are universal, so you can take, for example, let's imagine you're taking out that battery and you can apply a new battery inside. But the current ones normally no. For example, if you are like repairing ID3, Volkswagen ID3, you need to use Volkswagen battery cells or battery modules. Okay, let's see. Electric vehicle car good for high temperature for use? Yeah, if you have the battery state of charge, if you have a plenty state of charge, of course. But yeah, if you open your air conditioner, your battery range will be less, of course. So, but of course you can use it. There's one French comment maybe here. Thank you. At least I understand. Merci. Thank you. You're welcome. Always. Okay, there is an interesting one more question from anonymous person. What should I do when I find the car is in state of vibration after moving and walking at the beginning of the move? When I press the gas pedal, I find that is no torque. And I press the gas pedal once, twice, then the condition improves. Okay, so yeah, it's an interesting one. So what can I suggest is, first of all, please use a diagnostic tool. Let's see what's telling you. If you have AUTEL, it's better. If you don't, okay, let's try. Can you get any like feedbacks? I think it's maybe because of the electric motor, because it can be related with the stator and rotor. So maybe you can check it, but I'm not sure. I'm just giving some suggestion for you. So from Vikan, there's another question. Are the charging plugs for... It's same for all brands. It's only different for regions. So for example, if you have electric vehicle here, maybe in our region, if you, I don't know where are you from, but if you are in IMEA region, you can go to Europe easily because Europe also using the same connections. But if you go to United States, they are using CCS1 and different type of AC connector. So yeah, it will be problem. So you need to use some converters maybe, but the efficiency will be low. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you so much for your questions. Yeah, if you have more questions, please don't hesitate to ask in your local dealers, or maybe you can contact us via email, or you can directly write on AUTEL IMEA social accounts. Thank you so much for your attending. Thank you so much for your time, for your precious time. And I'm sure we will do more trainings for electric vehicles. And there is one more thing. Maybe AUTEL can implement the new certifications, but it's in the future. Let's keep in touch. Let's follow the AUTEL IMEA social accounts. And I hope I will see you in our next webinars. Thank you so much. Have a nice one.